If you could travel back in time and look at yourself at different periods of your life, what would you say? This Lessons Learned comes from my latest addiction, I guess, which is binge watching RuPaul's Drag Race. I had no idea there are 10 seasons, and I've caught up and I'm almost done. And what I love about, among the many things I love about RuPaul's Drag Race, is towards the end of every contestant's being narrowed down from, I think, 12 to 10 to 5 to the ultimate 3. Winners lined up on a stage have to look at a surprise picture of themselves, and RuPaul asked each contestant, look at this picture and tell me, what would you say to this young boy? And it got me so emotionally thinking about the various times of my life. In yoga, we tend to think of our lives in terms of sevens. 0, then 7, then puberty, then first love, and moving on. And I've actually looked at pictures and I get myself in this habit. And I think the purpose of this is twofold. First, because this is our only life and it's not a dress rehearsal, and even if there is reincarnation, it's not going to be self-cognizant. We are just seeing ourselves and experiencing ourselves and feeling ourselves now. There is no present like that time, which is right now. So then what are we going to do? We have to be able to enjoy every moment, and when we're in the principle or concept of flow, one of the definitions of flow is that it's not self-cognizant. So you can't say, this is such a great day, I'm in flow right now. Flow is always when you're looking back and say, that was fluidity of all energy and vibration in my life for my purpose. Whether it be an hour, a minute, a day, a period of my life. So I thought that it would be really interesting to take a photo of myself at a period of my life and hold it up and quietly talk to this person. And I'm not going to do that with you because that's not the purpose, share you my message. But I do invite you to find pictures, not stop and think, what would I say to my childhood self? Nah, you need to get a baby picture. And looking at your baby picture of yourself in a quiet space where you don't think other people are around, maybe light a candle and you feel very connected. If you're a morning person, then I suggest you do this in the morning. If it's the afternoon or the evening, then you do this in the afternoon and the evening. And you look at yourself and you tell yourself some things about that period of your life that maybe you want to save for posterity. And maybe the second purpose of doing this whole exercise, if you will, is to be able, if you have kids, if you have mentors, if you have mentorees, to share these drills with them, because they actually help bind us in our humanity. Because otherwise we'll never have a chance to stop and look back on ourselves and say, you know what, it's okay. Freedom and forgiveness and follow through, for 3 F words. I look at my child baby picture, and as an example, just one thing I told myself by looking at my baby picture is that I did nothing wrong, and nothing that happened at that period of my life, as horrific and as suffering and as detrimental to the rest of my life as that was my fault. And that's pretty freeing. But it only happens if you look at your baby picture and if you tell yourself some things that now, with the wisdom you know, more than anyone else who can be a mentor or a teacher or a guidance, because you've lived there, you've been in your skin. You look back, and with what you know now, you verbalize, and you do this out loud, some things, some pieces of wisdom, some thoughts, some recollections, some musings, if you will, towards your baby picture. Then jump ahead to another period of your life where I think is puberty, where I think in me was my going from very, very over fat to very, very anorexic. And I look at that picture and I tell myself some things about what I feel now about having wasted the last 2 years of high school and the first year of college being 90 pounds as a male who needed food to grow and flourish and have hormones, etc. This then represents another phase of my life, which is when I really became seriously involving myself in this profession of fitness and wellness. And I look back on these times childhood and puberty and starting to follow my lifelong calling. Sure, we could pull out other pictures of other times in our life, but then I think we might just be getting lost in little lessons. These are big L lessons, right? We want to look at ourselves at the major periods of our life and tell ourselves what we know now based on what we've gone through and how nice it would have been to know those things. But because we can verbalize them now, it sort of not changes history, but it helps mold who we are now because it shows that we have evolved, we have grown, and most importantly and significantly, we've transcended. Nothing has been a failure, but everything has been a lessons learned. So with love in my heart and a firm commitment to spread wellness without walls, I'm Lawrence, expressing my gratitude to you for making this lesson so far, and I conclude by asking, what 3 photos or what 4 photos would you pick out of your life that you can set time for, look at, and speak to for 2 to 3 minutes to each photo and say, here's what I want you to know about this time of your life?